Hi everyone, we hope you're enjoying the Masters of Product Marketing so far. Just before we jump into the next session, I want to share some info on a few of the leadership-focused resources we have been working on improving here at PMA. As you know, we're dedicated to elevating the role of product marketing. But as the function grows, we have been focusing on how to develop the best product marketing leaders for now and the near future. Two exciting ways we have been doing this is through our Product Marketing Certified Leadership course and our PMA Exec Membership Plan. Our leadership certification will equip you with the insider knowledge you need to create a lasting, successful career as a product marketing leader. Through this course, we'll equip you with the fundamental skills required to guide your team with authority, confidence, influence, and innovation. And now for the PMA Exec Membership Plan. This gives you all the benefits of our awesome Pro Plan in addition to our exclusive leadership community, even more strategic templates and frameworks, leadership peer councils, monthly masterminds, a recruitment hub, and a whole lot more. We'll be sharing more details on these throughout the event, but if you want to chat in more depth, then why not reach out to one of the team through the PMA Slack community. But for now, we're on to the next talk.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashley Herberts, Head of Product Marketing at Recruity. Thanks for joining me today. I am going to walk you through my journey moving from a solo product marketer to a head of product marketing. Like probably most of you, I sort of stumbled into product marketing. I worked both in sales and had a few marketing roles as well, sort of fumbling around until I found or stumbled upon product marketing, which is really just a great mix of everything I really love to do, all rolled up into one role. So I'm going to walk you through the past few years, the different roles that I had and sort of where I put the milestones of my career and what I learned at each stage. So maybe you can learn a little, some tips and tricks for yourself. Our Product Marketing Alliance has a great quote or a definition of product marketing, which is summed up as the driving force behind getting products to market and keeping them there. And I really do agree with this definition. I think this is a great summation of what we do and who we are. But I do think for every person, for every company, for every stage of growth, it is missing a little bit of nuance. And what I love to see is that there are a lot of people getting into the role of product marketing, but also really interested in taking the next stage, the next step of their career to move up the product marketing ladder. Even in the State of Product Marketing report that was recently released, 63.8% of product marketers were ready to take the next step of their career. And that's amazing. But we are missing a little bit of detail or information as to, both the title, am I a head of product marketing, am I director of product marketing, VP of product marketing, but also skill set needed at each level. And that's still a little bit of a black box since we are just now establishing the role, but there aren't too many product marketing leaders out there yet. So these are some of the things that I have learned. I hope that they help you along the way as well. Like I said, not everything will be a perfect fit for you. Maybe you take some of it and sort of tweak it or adapt it for yourself. But these are some of the things that I pass on to other product marketers as well as to my own team as they take their next step in the leadership role. And I'll give you a little bit of an explanation as to why I wanted to take the next step in my career. Of course, I just always dreamed of building out a team, getting a little bit of management experience. I was getting a bit frustrated in seeing what could be done, especially looking at other product marketing teams and the things that they were doing. And as a solo product marketer, it's just, only one person, you can only do so much. So seeing what could be done, seeing the possibilities was a bit frustrating that I wasn't able to do that all by myself. But also I was noticing some gaps or some shortcomings that I had in my own skill sets and really wanted to to optimize that? How do I add skill sets that I don't have, so I can focus on amplifying what my superpowers are, and instead of forcing myself uh, to get better at something that I neither am naturally good at nor do I really want to be. I don't really prefer to spend my time doing that. I'd rather just hire somebody who loves to do it and they're going to do a much better job than I ever will. So that was another reason for wanting to take the next step in my own career. So again, I have some learnings for you along the way. What was great, what was hard, and hopefully they help you out to take the next step. So I'll do a little bit of an introduction of myself and Recruity, who I work for now, and then go through my product marketing journey at each one of the milestones that I have laid out for myself. Talk about the outputs. So what were we actually doing? The relationships, both internal within the team, but also external with other teams. The status of product marketing. So what was the stage that we were at that moment? What was hard? Or sorry, what was great? What was hard? And what my biggest learning was. A little bit about me. I'll move myself out of the picture here. I am born and raised in Alabama in the US. I am a graduate of the University of Alabama, so roll tide for any football fans out there. I moved to Austin, Texas after college because I got my degree in business and marketing and worked for an IT sales company out there for a while. And then 6 years ago, I moved to Amsterdam, where I was able to kickstart my time overseas with getting my MBA at University of Amsterdam at their Amsterdam Business School. I have 4 years of sales experience, mostly spent in Austin, 7 years of marketing experience, and of that marketing experience, 4 are in product marketing. As you can see up here, I have 2 dogs. Elwood is the cute one in the bow tie, and Monk is the cute one with a little tongue out. And met my husband here in Amsterdam, and now we have a little girl named Emily, who is a year and 2 months old. I now work for Recruity. We are an applicant tracking system, so your HR and recruitment teams use this type of software to bring candidates into the company to apply to certain roles that are open and move them along in the process. And we are a collaborative hiring software, which means that we think that collaborative hiring is the best way to hire. And that means that in the hiring team, you'll typically have a recruiter, the hiring manager, as well as some other reviewers or people involved in the process to give you really that that true experience and gets different opinions from others within your company to hire the best people. This also gives candidates a really great experience as they get to meet multiple people within the company and get a feel for what it's like to work at your organization. We have had some pretty great milestones over the last couple of months. So we just hit our 5,000 customer mark, which is very exciting. We actually had our co-founders jump out of a plane in celebration. So if you want to go see that video, it's on our LinkedIn page. I still can't believe we got them to do that, but it's a pretty cool video. Our creative team does a great job with that. We have over 180,000 users in more than 90 countries across the world, and we also just hit our 200 FTE mark. And just last week, we took everybody to Greece for a workation. So it was really great to have pretty much all 200 of us all in one location, because we do have multiple offices across in Poland and Amsterdam and the US and Germany. So it was really nice to see everybody there. I highly recommend if you can sell that to your C-level and HR team. It was really great to just get in a room with everybody, do a little bit of work, but mostly do a lot of bonding. So it's really fun. And I'll walk you through my product marketing journey. Well, these are the milestones, 6 milestones where I really have mapped out big changes within my own developments, but also within the team's development. So I'll walk you through those. So my first role was at Virtua Gym. This was a company before I started working at Recruity. I was the very first product marketer there, and they never had one before. So I had a lot of work to do when it came to creating a product launch process in the first place. We also started marketing to customers for the first time. So any kind of messaging about product launches or any sort of onboarding series was started when I joined. And I also created a competitor analysis for our sales team. Relationships, like I said, this was the first. I was the first product marketer, so a lot of handshaking and kissing babies to do. So I started first with the product and marketing teams and really focused on that because that was obviously product and marketing and then in the role title. So my job was to bring those two teams closer together. So that's where I spent a lot of my time. But I did build some niche relationships with sales and CS members just for insights into particular markets or to get a feel for how the teams are doing. As I said, this was really establishing the role of product marketing, so teaching others what product marketing is and can do. What was great is that some things were in place because we did have a marketing team, but I did get to build this role pretty much from scratch. But that was also what made it hard, building things for the first time and establishing those relationships and getting the trust to have help with product launches and other things that I felt were very necessary. Definitely was more effort than if you came in with somebody already having product marketing established. My learning here is that defining and establishing product marketing is very difficult, but it is also very satisfying once that value clicks for stakeholders. So it's nice to see the little light bulb go off in their head of, oh, okay, I finally get it after they see the results of a product launch or a campaign of any sort. Next, I moved to Recruity, where I was a solo PMM. So I wasn't the first, but I was the second. And that was nice because there were some things already in place. Some people did know some things about what product marketing was. So I didn't have to do as much work as when I was the first product marketer. Here, I introduced a more robust launch framework and process. I brought product into the process more, so keeping them not only up to date, but actually also getting their opinion about marketing campaigns, which, of course, they're not the expert, but they usually have a lot of great insights and they do know our customers very well, at least at Recruity. So I think that was a very good move, and we still do that to this day, even bringing them in on messaging brainstorms and stuff for product launches. I created the first sales stack, so it's a bit of a wild, wild west with our sales team before I joined. So now we're all talking about same product in the same way with collaborative hiring and sort of having this central messaging that we use. And there was some competitor analyses, some competitor insights, but I revamped that and included the updates and new competitors that we have and sent that out to the sales and CS and marketing teams. For relationships, I took the time to sit with each stakeholder, assess with them what they liked about working with the previous product marketer, what they didn't like, what they wish we were doing but we weren't doing. And in order to really cement that trust, especially since I was a new person, even though we had product marketer before, was to deliver on time every time. I made sure not to say yes to anything or give any kind of dates that I felt could even possibly be unrealistic, because I definitely wanted to build that trust that I could deliver great things at the time that I said. And here it was really setting the role up for scale. I was only one person. We did have a pretty decent sized marketing team though. So how can I take a look at some of the time consuming things, stop doing them, especially if they're not bringing in the value that we need, but also to set us up for bigger product launches, more product launches, other people joining. So that was what I was doing at this stage. There's still a lot of work to do to educate others on the role. Of course, we had new people. People need refreshers sometimes. But also, I do product marketing maybe differently than somebody else does, or my definition may be a little bit different than the previous person. So I was really redefining what that meant at Recruity. And as I said before, I spent a lot of time looking at what we were doing and I did start killing some darlings, as they say. So, for example, we were doing a blog for each product launch, but looking into it, it had very limited page views. We weren't distributing it properly. I also am not great at long form content, so that was one of the first things to go when it came to what are we doing and what do we want to continue doing. So what was great about this stage was that there were some things in place, but mostly I got to build the role from scratch, again, what I do enjoy doing, and redefine what product marketing looks like for me. I'm a little bit more strategic as opposed to tactical, and I was able to bring that aspect to things and sort of reteach others what product marketing could be, not necessarily what it was at that moment. What was hard was rethinking the process while not stepping on toes. Like I said, there were marketing team members already who were doing something. So, how do I come in and make an impact, but not be a bull in a china shop? I definitely didn't want to um, be directive in any way or take things away that people really loved doing. So, there was definitely some nurturing of relationships. Uh, Getting that trust and getting buy-in so I could have help with launches because I was the only person. And my learning here was just to take the time to see what's working and what's not. And I would actually recommend to not just do this when you're entering a company for the first time, but set a cadence for this because a lot of times we're just continuing to do business as usual. Uh, and we don't really dive into the is this working? Or even if it is working, should I be doing this? Maybe it's a freelancer, maybe it's somebody else on the team. Um, it's hard to do more and it's hard to grow when everything stays exactly the same as it was. So I'd recommend to do this, I don't know, every 6 months, every year or something. This was a big one. Hiring my first product marketer on the team. Very exciting. This was really the first moment where I got to look at growing the team and adding new people. So we had the product launch process established at this moment, and we were able to add more enablement and competitor information. So building out a library for the first time for our sales team to use. And like I said, I did kill any blogs that came with product launches, but I hired somebody who was really great in content because I'm not. And we were able to bring this back, but in a much better form. So now we focus a lot on distribution, on maybe reusing things we already have, but also to create more impactful copy and content here. And we were able to work and build out our new positioning and messaging. So collaborative hiring was built by me and our other product marketing manager, as well as the rest of the marketing team. But we were able to start doing that just because we had a little bit more space and capacity. At this point, the trust had already been built with stakeholders, but one team that I sort of wasn't as close with, funnily enough, is the marketing team. I worked so hard to get close to product, to sales, to customer success, to support. Um, but meanwhile, the marketing team was growing quite quickly, and I needed to reestablish ways of working with them, bringing them closer to the product and customers. So that was something that we focused on then. And with this new person, it was all about doubling down on our current strategy. So she did not have product marketing experience, but she did have a really great background in content and also just she was a journalist in her previous life. So really digging into people and their stories and creating great content based on that. So I used her skill sets and just needed to teach her the fundamentals of product marketing, and she was able to get up and running very quickly, which is great. So here, what was great was help, of course. Like I said, there was a lot I wanted to do, and only one person. That's hard to do by yourself. So that was really wonderful to finally have somebody there to be there when I was on holiday, or just help make product launches even better than they were before. What was hard is that I didn't really feel like a real manager just yet. This was an additional person, but it almost felt more team member like than it did manager to team member. And it can be difficult to juggle both the managerial role as well as the individual contributor role. And A learning for this is I would recommend if you're hiring your first team member is to look for skills that you don't have. So you want to, amplify everybody's superpowers, but find somebody who works similarly to you. Because while you want to amplify everybody's superpowers and what they do well, and you want to look for skills that you don't have, you also don't want a lot of friction in your way of working. So look for somebody who has a similar work style to you for that first role, just because you'll be able to move a lot faster. Next, we hired some non-product marketing roles. So we looked at, we added customer marketing, partner marketing, localization, and product education to the team. So now we had bigger and better product launches, which was really great. We had customer and buyer enablements coming out, customer stories, and closer partnerships with some of our integration partners, which also helps make our products more sticky. We had closer ties to different departments. So, of course, adding customer marketing and partner marketing, you start to work a little bit more with partnerships with customer success and building those ties. And internally within the product marketing team, these non-product marketing managers don't know product marketing. So there is some education to do when it comes to that to bring them into the team a bit more. And that flows to the next point of a more inclusive product marketing team strategy. So now it's not just product marketing, as in product launches and what comes with that, but building a strategy with other teams. So it becomes bigger than just your own domain that you're used to. What was great is that bringing these relevant members into the team meant offloading some of the things that we were doing, and they were able to take, let's say, posting a new partner in the marketplace and just run with it. And now it's not just a post on our marketplace, but now it's also on socials, and we create a blog with a partner and we do this with them. So it's being able to take it to the next level. What was hard is that there was more management for me to do, but still the same product marketing work because there was still only 2 product marketers. So that was my big learning here is that if you're adding more direct reports, but they're not directly taking workload off of you, you're going to have to give in some way or another. So something has to go, something has to be redistributed. You have to rethink what you're doing because it's just too much for one person to handle doing all of that. But finally, we were able to add 2 more product marketers to the team. So we now have a fully integrated product launch campaign coming out with each launch. So it's not just the day of launch that we're all centered around, but how do we start dripping content, have the product launch, and later follow up more adoption tactics, working with the whole marketing team with this. We had a revitalized competitive intelligence project that we worked on to revamp what we had, to include new competitors, to teach others how to do this as well. Better ways of working with ourselves, but also with other teams, and a bigger focus on product adoption. We did create a new structure for our product marketers, which aligned them to product managers, meaning that our product team was able to know who to come to for what, and roles and responsibilities internally were also a little bit more clear. And at this stage, we were just growing product marketing. So looking at enablement programs, more enablement period, bigger product launches, and just looking at what the next stage of product marketing was for our team. What was great here is that we were able to realign ourselves to the product team. Roles and responsibilities were much clearer. What was hard for me was all at the same time stepping back from some of the technical stuff, onboarding 2 people while still making sure nothing fell through the cracks, and running a full team. So it was definitely very hectic, a lot going on at once. And my learning here is to prioritize finding somebody to take over what you're doing before growing your team, but also be mentally prepared to let go a little bit, because maybe you really love doing this one thing, but it's very time consuming and you need to shift your priorities a bit to the team. So what does our team look like now? Well, I am the head of product marketing, and we have 4 sub-teams or subdomains: localization, customer marketing, product marketing, and partner marketing. And we're hiring for 2 roles. So if you're interested in partner marketing or customer marketing, head to our careers page and apply today. And what I'm doing now to bring the team together, since we're all doing different things, but they do roll up and they do work together, they do collaborate on a lot of stuff, is that we have a team mission, and this rolls up to our company mission and vision, so it ties to what we're doing as a company. We have team inspiration brainstorm, so sharing ideas for our own domains, but also for others, which helps us to understand what each other are doing. We have a team quota of bringing one learning per month to our monthly team meeting. So this could be a learning about a customer, so on a customer call, or from a competitor, or something from the market, so HR, industry type of things. We are using more general metrics right now as we navigate what reporting means to us as a team. Basically, we're looking at LTV to CAC, retention, and revenue, and what are some of the small tactical things that roll up to that for each subdomain. As I said, we're moving towards a more campaign-based way of working for a more integrated approach. So really every member of the team is involved in each campaign. And that could be on a product launch or a typical theme or a topic, maybe unbiased hiring, for example. So everybody's involved. And then on a more personal development level, we have talent mapping sheets that I've created. So everybody knows what's expected of their role, what's expected if they want to move up in their role, and where would they want to focus their development time on. And like I said, for myself, that's not necessarily a weakness that you want to improve. That could also be your superpower and how to get better at it. So my learnings are to keep it simple. The more people you add and the faster you grow with your company growth, the more complex it's going to be. So strip it down to the basics whenever possible. You still need to educate on product marketing, especially if you're adding non-product marketing roles to your team. Think about how they play into the product marketing strategy. Take them through what a product launch looks like and show them how they contribute to that. Change is the only constant. It's very exciting to grow a team, and it's what you want, but sometimes the ship is going to move faster than you're ready for. So for me, I was a bit uncomfortable almost with how fast it was going, how many team members I was actually going to add. So I just had to sit with being a little bit uncomfortable for a while and keep going. Team mental health is a #1 priority. The faster growth you have at your company, the more it's going to be asked of you and the team. So even if you have very high expectations for maybe even working in a very unhealthy manner, so just churning out a lot of stuff, you're not going to be able to expect everybody else to do that. And if you do, it's going to be the detriment to everybody on your team. And the strategy becomes more complex. As you add more roles, as you add different domains, that means you're going to spend more time aligning with other teams. So my recommendation is to understand their priorities for each team, and going back to keep it simple, keep it very simple what you're going to do with each other. Now, how do you get started? Well, first start mapping your product marketing journey so far. So what have you learned? How have you grown? And celebrate that. We don't take enough time in high growth companies to sit and process what we've been doing over the last months or years. So sit with that and be happy with yourself. Plan out your future. So map out where you want to be in a year, 2 years, and work backwards from there. What are the realistic steps for you to get there? And I say realistic, and I mean realistic. Don't overload yourself, because the day-to-day is always very crazy. So you don't want to get too stressed out with having too much to do. And if you're having some trouble with convincing senior stakeholders to let you build a team, I would say map out 2 scenarios. One scenario in one column is what you can do as yourself, one person in product marketing. And the second column can be what you can achieve with another person or 2. And then you can show them, here's what we can do, here's what I can promise myself. But if we want to take it to the next level, which this is what it looks like, I need one more person to do that. And from there, let leadership decide if that second growth stage is where they want to go. And that's it for me. Thank you everybody for joining. I hope this was helpful for you, and good luck at your next stage, the next step of your career. If you have any questions not answered here, feel free to message me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to chat all things product marketing, and see y'all later.